A federal appeals court is keeping a strict Texas immigration law on hold. The law, known as SB 4, allows state law enforcement officials to arrest and jail migrants who cross the border illegally. The court is putting the law on pause until it meets next month to discuss the merits. With Texas looking to crack down on migrant crossings, that's put more pressure on border communities in Arizona. CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez reports.
Out here, there is nothing.
This desolate stretch of the Arizona border is one of the deadliest for migrants. Each day, federal agents take to the skies. Their search for people in distress often turns into a rescue mission.
You've had to rescue migrants.
Oh, absolutely.
And children, too.
Oh, children, women, older folks.
In its latest annual count, Border Patrol reported a record 895 migrant deaths, 142 of them here in the Tucson sector.
This is one of the most remote sections of the U.S.-Mexico border. It is also now the busiest Border Patrol sector for illegal crossings. Migrants from across the globe are using gaps in the border wall, just like this one, to enter the U.S.
As Texas has become more hostile to migrants, the number of people crossing in Arizona has soared. Most are looking to claim asylum. How long was the journey from Nepal?
It took too long.
Why did you come?
Political problem.
Political problems? In Nepal?
Yes.
In Texas, migrant crossings have plunged by over 50% since late last year. Now, more than 60% of all border crossings are occurring in Arizona and California. Governor Abbott has credited his policies for that geographic shift, if you will. Is that accurate?
Hard to say. Could it have had some impact? Sure. Is it the one panacea that's corrected the problem? I don't think that's a fair statement.
Officials worry the warmer weather will bring more migration and deaths.
Nobody wants to see someone die. That is the absolute worst part of this job.
But unfortunately, one they're seeing more often. The White House and Congress remain desperately gridlocked on immigration, and at the same time, border communities in Arizona are bracing for an influx in crossings and another potential humanitarian crisis. The main shelter system in Tucson told us that it could start rejecting migrants if daily arrivals soar. That could force Border Patrol to release people, including families with children, on the street, which would be unprecedented for Tucson. Jeff?
Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you very much. Let's bring in Andrew Schoenholtz now. He's a professor from practice at Georgetown University Law Center and co-director of Georgetown Law's Asylum Clinic. Professor, how big of a deal is it, do you think, to have the appeals court put SB 4 on pause, and are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. I think it is an important decision, and I think the Supreme Court probably encouraged this to some degree, because they're making it absolutely clear that we can't have 50, the United States Constitution and the Supreme Court has made it clear you can't have 50 different immigration policies throughout this country, because every state could have its own, that the federal government actually is the one entrusted with the implementation of and enforcement of the immigration laws. So I think this is a really important decision, but it's not yet the final decision. That will, as you indicated, next month, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals will make that. We'll have a hearing, make a decision about this. But the way they talked about it in the decision that came out yesterday, which put the Texas law on hold again, made it clear that states can create distinct criminal offenses regarding people who come in without permission. Right.
Because each state is different, and each state has different border crossings.
Well, that's what you can imagine, many different policies, right?
Yeah.
But it's also that this has been a problem for many years, that various states would like to have some greater say in this, but it's essentially Texas wants to essentially take over what the U.S. Border Patrol does and what Immigration and Customs Enforcement does.
If it goes to the Supreme Court, is there an underlying question that justices will address here? What happens?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because what Texas is doing is not just challenging what is essentially 150 years of rulings by the Supreme Court saying that the federal government has overall and principal responsibility for the enforcement of immigration laws. especially regarding entry and deportation. But they're asking the court essentially to overturn a major decision by Justice Kennedy in 2012 that was joined by this Chief Justice, Justice Roberts, holding that Arizona could not establish and implement its own immigration policy because that responsibility is entrusted to the discretion of the federal government. And they'd be concerned. The Supreme Court often says with these types of immigration policies, it can impact foreign relations, and the United States has to speak with one voice.
Okay, Professor Andrew Schoenholtz, so much to talk about here. I'm sure we'll catch up with you again regarding all of this. Appreciate your time.